Good afternoon. My name is Ashley Verge and I work with Connector and today we are here to talk about video resumes, learning how to make one and learning how to ace one. Before we start, I want to tell you a little bit about our program Connector. We are a program of the St. John's Board of Trade, and we're a networking program that helps local businesses and organizations connect with newcomers that are looking to grow their network. Newcomers for us can mean a couple different things. A newcomer can be someone new to the country, so they could be an immigrant, a refugee, or an international student, or you could be a newcomer to a specific region within Canada or the province. So you could be what we call a domestic newcomer that's moved from one area to another. But either way, you are new to the region and you're without connection, and that's where we come in. We have locations in St. John's through the St. John's Board of Trade, also located in Central NL and over in Western NL based in Corner Brook. And the program revolves around this premise of match, connect, and refer. So when we meet you, we will try and match you up with someone in your industry that you can talk with to learn more about how it works locally. They will connect you then to other opportunities and possibly then refer you on to other people that you should meet to continue growing your network. Before we get into the presentation itself, we did want to show this video about Hire Me St. John's, which was a campaign that was done through the Board of Trade and Connector NL in the fall, I guess, of 2019. And this program, we asked people to upload a video, a 1-minute video, about themselves and why a company should hire them. So it was a pitch competition, and this has been done in lots of places around the country through different connector programs. We actually got the idea from the Halifax Connector program. They've been doing Hire Me Halifax for a couple of years. So this video focuses on our top 5 videos and participants that were in the program, and they were publicly voted on to pick a winner that was announced at our awards. So this video will show you little glimpses of what they submitted, and also they will explain more about why they think video resumes are really important.
I decided to apply for this because as a recent graduate applying for jobs, it can be difficult to be more than just a resume. And on a stack of papers, everyone looks pretty similar, but having an opportunity like this to actually get in front of a group of people and showcase who I am, I think it would be a lot easier for me to stand out.
I have been here 3 years now. I applied for hundreds of jobs without one call back. With this little video, I think maybe this will help people to get to know me and my story. I may have a different name, but I'm ready to work hard.
I'm pretty sure that I was rejected from certain job applications because they couldn't place where I came from. It was really difficult for them to see how I am, and based on only a piece of paper. You can tell how a person is going to fit into your company when you meet that person. I think the video resume provides you exactly that to the company.
They see a video of you and understand the kind of person that you are, and if they would like to work with you, I think it gives a broader view. It gives you a better opportunity.
I do video production on the side between travel videos and music videos, and being able to get in front of the lens and show employers who I am through a medium that I'm more familiar with was a really unique opportunity that I think I could excel at.
I'm very proud of what I did because it's a true representation of who I am and what I'm capable of doing in a short period of time.
This is my first time trying a video resume with the Hire Me St. John's, and here I am as a finalist top 5. So I believe that the success rate is a lot higher personally in my journey, and it gives an opportunity to add personality because employers have to go through just papers and words, but a video resume gives you the opportunity to feel my personality and connect. So I decided to give it a shot and try something different apart from the conventional job applications and put in a video. And here I am.
The video was supposed to be for 1 minute. So I'm like, what can I say in 1 minute that would get to someone, that would make someone think, oh, I want to work with this person? And I can't just reel out what's on my resume. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I thought, why not tell a story and say what drives you? That's the most important thing. What drives you? Where does your passion come from? And that was what I did. So
Where does your passion come?
Passion comes from wanting to make a change in the world.
So as you can see from the people that submitted into Hire Me St. John's, some of them took very different approaches, and there was different levels of editing. There was different considerations for whether it was going to be a story or if it was going to be a resume reading. But they all had their own approach, but in the end it was their style that got them into the top 5 and the finalists in the program. So now we're going to talk about if you want to make your own video, how you can do that, some things to consider, some tips and tricks from logistics to how you want to do your setup to what you want to say. And everyone's going to do this their own way. So we want your style and your own feel for it to come through. Your video will look very different from someone else's. So take all these considerations and then apply them to how you want to use them. But we are going to cover some of the basics. And before you start, there are some things you want to plan out with your video. And primarily those are around your background, the noise, and your setup and your filming. So with your background, you do want to think about where do you want to film this video? What do you want behind you, around you? Try not to have anything distracting like pictures, mirrors, people, pets, all these things can be very distracting. Even if they're not interacting with you, if they're moving in behind you, it may pull away from what you're saying. You can also use your background to tell a story. So maybe behind your shoulder you have your degree or you have an award. Maybe it's a sample of your work if you are making a video to help you land a creative or an artistic job, and that's your skill area. So you can put things behind you that helps the story, just make sure it doesn't distract from what you're saying. The other thing you want to consider is lighting. And this may sound very simple, but if your video is very dark or people can't see you, it will distract as well from what you're saying. So you don't have to go out and get any expensive lighting, but just even natural light or having a lamp close by can really make a difference in the video. The other thing you want to have consideration for is the noise. So when you do plan your video, make sure you do it somewhere quiet or somewhere that has really good acoustics. If you plan to do it outside and that's going to be part of your story to have other people around, do make sure you have a headset or a mic so that your voice comes through and it's not picking up too much of the background. Also, if you are going to use something like a headset, do you want to have cords dangling down in front of you, or are you going to use something that's more invisible, cordless, or putting cords behind your back? Do different setups. Take a picture, see how it looks, even film it and see how it looks. The beauty with this is it's not a one-shot thing. You can film this a couple times to make sure you get the editing right or to make sure your setup looks right. But you do want to think about the noise and how you want to deal with that. The other thing is filming it itself. So some people will use a phone, and if you do, how do you want to film it? Vertical or horizontal? Also, how will you keep your phone steady? Are you going to get someone to help you and hold the phone, or are you going to prop it up some way? Also, maybe you're going to use a laptop. So if that's the case, it should be a little more steady, but do you have a good webcam? Or also, do you need any software? So look into these things. If you're going to use your phone, everything's pretty much built in. You'll just need a way to make sure it looks a bit steady. With a laptop, you might need to download some stuff, but some of it is free, so you shouldn't have to go and spend a lot of money on this. Once you've got those logistics figured out, then you want to get into the content. So one of the things we put in content is actually what you're wearing, because you are the content of this video, and how you appear will help tell your story. So most people will do a professional dress, sort of dressing for an interview when they do their video resume. It doesn't have to be. You saw in one of the videos, David, who was actually the winner of Hire Me St. John's. Part of his video was him running around a lake and he was in sweats, but he was talking about how he's a hard worker and that he's always moving and on the go. So that was part of his story, and being dressed that way made sense. So if that's something you want to do, that's okay too. but for the most part, people do have sort of a professional or interview level of dress. Also, what do you want to say in your video? Most people will cover the common resume sections, so that's your education, experiences, skills, and also include something about why you should be hired. You don't necessarily have to do it in the rigid resume format and that you announce a heading and then everything that goes below it, but you should cover off some of these things. You should also have a plan. You can have a script or have cue cards to help you along, but the best thing you can do is memorize it. People can tell when you're reading off of a piece of paper in a video and it doesn't look as natural, so trying to memorize it is much better, but you certainly can have that script or cue card there to help you along. Everyone will have different information about the length of a video. For Hire Me St. John's, the videos had to be 1 minute. For other things, they have to be 30 seconds. So if you're doing this for an event or for a certain competition or to submit somewhere, look at what their requirements are around the video, what file it should be, how you need to upload it, all those things, and the length. But if you're just doing this generally to share on social media or to attach with a resume, the length is really up to you, but we do recommend that you keep it around 1 minute, if not a little less. The final thing with content is we want you to show your style. So do you want to include any video editing or other images? Also think about, will you be standing, sitting, moving? What helps you sell yourself in this video more? Also, do you want to tell a story? Anna in the Hire Me St. John's video mentioned that she wanted to tell a story, and that's what she did. And it was really moving, and she got all those resume areas covered in her video, but she did tell a story, and it was really great. The other thing is, do you want to mention a company? So do you want to include information about who you hope will hire you, or do you want to keep it general? We will touch on that in a few minutes on another slide. The other thing is, do you want to just share the facts, or do you want to get into information that's kind of outside your resume, so your interests or a little bit more about you? These are all things you need to consider. So once you do have your video filmed, now what are you going to do with it? The very first thing you should do before you share it or send it anywhere is proof watch it. Just like you'd proofread a document, proof watch your video. And have someone that you trust provide some feedback as well. We are most times our own worst critic, so you may watch the video and hate it. You may not be comfortable watching yourself on video or hearing yourself, so have someone else that can provide some very strategic feedback about the video content and the lighting and the background to make sure that it looks well and you present yourself well. That's really important. Once you have decided on the video and you're comfortable with it, then you should start sharing it. And you should share it wherever you are comfortable. So there's a couple ways you can get the video out there. Most people will use YouTube because it's easy then to share it on other platforms or to send it in an email. It's easy to embed. If you do decide to use YouTube, one tip we would recommend is to edit the video thumbnail. So if you go on YouTube right now, you'll see still shots of different videos, and what that still shot is called a thumbnail, and you can pick that. If you do not go in and pick the thumbnail, YouTube will just pick a random snapshot of your video and put that up there. And there's a chance that what they pick will not be a still image that you would have wanted to represent your video. Maybe your face is contorted in a certain way, or it could just be a black screen. So you can go in and select that thumbnail from different stills that they've collected from your video, or you can upload a separate image altogether to represent your video. The other places you can share it are obviously social media. So things like Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. If you do upload to YouTube, it's super easy to share a YouTube link on those platforms. You could consider doing the video just straight to Facebook, doing like a Facebook Live or a Facebook video. If you do that, it's easy to share within Facebook, but it gets a little more difficult to share it on other platforms. So the link and the URL isn't as clean. Same thing with Instagram and TikTok. It's easy to share within the platform, but it's difficult to send outside those platforms. So think about how wide you want this video to go and how many different areas you want to be seen. If you are planning on sharing it in a document or using a URL, I would certainly recommend using something like YouTube. There are other platforms out there now that companies are using, because some companies are requiring videos for job applications. And one bit of software is called Loom, which almost works like a visual voicemail. So you can leave a company a message. And I believe there is time limits on Loom as well. And you would need to download an app or some software on your laptop to use it if a company is recommending that you do. But these are all different things that are out there that are becoming now more standard in job applications. Another one is Crash Careers, where you can upload a video resume of yourself, but you can also include some more information below it, almost like a LinkedIn profile about your educations and skills. But you can also include samples of your work to prove the skills that you have there. And there's different things you can do with Crash Careers with sharing it and launching your job search, as they call it, and getting votes. So check out those sites there, and more will come online as things go on and the job search world changes, and we have to look at all the different things that are out there and stay on top of it. Particularly if you're looking into a career that's within technology or within a high growth area, they are going to look at different methods of attracting talent. So they may start using some of these things that are online or more digital or visual. The final thing is, when you do share your resume, your video resume on social media, or if you are sending a link, include a link to your regular paper or digital resume as well. Your video is not going to cover everything, just as a traditional resume is not going to cover everything. So the two together will give an employer a really great picture of who you are. Your paper resume as well, or your regular resume, will also have your contact information in it, like your phone number and email, and you may not have that in your video, so it is really important to put two of them together. Some things to remember. High energy is so important. What I mean when I say this, I don't mean that you have to act or be someone that you're not, but having a passion and a desire and an excitement to get this video out and to show people who you are is really going to speak volumes, and having high energy is helpful for that. You should also speak clearly and concisely. You are on a time crunch for most of these videos, so having a plan of what you want to say and getting that out very clearly is going to be really important. We recommend avoiding swearing or any controversial remarks. You don't want to talk yourself out of a job with one of these videos. So you want to come across very professional, and you don't want to be remembered for the wrong reasons, which sometimes can happen if you're swearing or saying something controversial. Mentioning companies that you want to hire or want to hire you, that can be risky. So if you have a desire to work with company ABC and you mention only them in your video, there is a chance that their competitors may see this and think, well, maybe this will be a candidate for us, but they seem really excited and interested in one company, so there's not really a point of us in engaging them. So it can backfire. If you are really interested in only one company, you can do the video and do it kind of generally, but only send it directly to them. Or you can focus on industry. In a way, you want these videos to go viral. So you want them to be spread and be seen by lots of people. So try not to limit yourself or the scope. Try and keep it kind of open to everyone within the industry and see then who responds. You also should remember that everything you share will be public. So take a look around your background or things that things that are going to be seen or spoken about in your video, because it will be shared far and wide. Maybe there is pictures behind you of family or children that you prefer not to be seen by the public in such a public way in the video like this. So you might want to remove those pictures. Or if you're going to mention your phone number, know that now everybody will have your phone number. So think about these things before you put them in your video. And the final thing we want to mention is this does not have to cost a lot of money. You can go out and get lots of software or get people to help you. And there are lots of companies out there that would help you film and shoot a video resume if you wanted. So if that's an avenue you want to go down, there's absolutely things that can help you. But you can do this with your phone and a script, and having maybe someone help you, or, you know, guiding you along. So this does not have to cost a lot of money. You can do this with technology that you already have. The biggest thing that's going to come across in your video is the content and what you say. So you don't have to have a professional to make a professional video. You can do this yourself. That's everything that we wanted to cover in our video resume session. Thank you for joining us and attending. We hope you learned lots. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us. Our website is connectornl.ca, and you can find our contact information on there. We also have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram if you want to reach out to us there as well. We hope you have a great day. And if you do decide to do a video resume, we hope to see it soon. Thank you.